In the quiet village of Surajpur, where the evenings smelled of warm soil and fresh wheat, there lived a boy named Arman. He was 15, tall for his age, with curious eyes that seemed to hold many dreams. But beneath those dreams lay a restless comfort, an attitude that tomorrow would always come, and he had all the time in the world. School didn't matter much to him. He studied only when exams came close, copied homework from friends, and skipped classes whenever life outside seemed more interesting. He loved sitting by the riverbank, skipping stones across the water, watching them bounce before sinking. Just like my studies, his mother would say. You jump here and there, but in the end, nothing stays. Armin would laugh, nod politely, and return to skipping stones, thinking there was always next month, next year, another chance. His father worked in the fields all day, and when he returned home exhausted, he would sometimes tell Arman, do something meaningful, Beta. Time doesn't return once it passes. But the words floated over him like passing clouds. He had a friend named Kabir, a quiet boy who studied with steady focus. Whenever Kabir asked Arman to sit with him and learn, Arman brushed it away. Later, there's plenty of time, he would say. Life to him was a comfortable waiting room, where nothing needed to be urgent. He didn't realize that life waits for no one. One winter morning, something changed. The school announced a scholarship exam. Only the top 3 students from the village could win it. Kabir, with shy excitement, whispered to Arman during lunch, this could be our chance to study in a bigger town. Better teachers, maybe a different kind of life. Arman nodded, but not with enthusiasm. He believed he could catch up anytime. There are still 3 months, he said. I'll start soon. Kabir studied every night. Arman slept early, thinking tomorrow would be different. Weeks passed. The winter fog lifted from the village, new crops grew, and time continued to walk forward, never pausing for him. One evening, Arman's father returned late, carrying a bag of fertilizer. His hands were cracked, fingers shaking from cold. He sat on the doorstep, breathing heavily. Arman rushed to him. The doctor, after a quick visit, said the exhaustion was getting worse. Working long hours had worn him down. When everyone slept, Arman lay awake, listening to his father's soft, labored breathing. For the first time, he noticed how hard life was for his parents, how much they depended on a future he kept pushing away. The gentle river outside flowed as always, whispering in the dark, almost speaking to him. The next morning, he hurried to Kabir's house, books tucked under his arm. Kabir smiled, surprised. Finally ready? Arman nodded. I don't want to waste any more time. Kabir looked at him with quiet seriousness. Remember, Arman, regret arrives when time leaves. Don't let it come to you too late. Those words settled deep inside him like seeds waiting for the first rain. The days that followed were not easy. Arman struggled to catch up. Concepts he had ignored for years felt heavy like sacks of grain. Sometimes he wished he could skip to the end, to success, to results. But Kabir kept him grounded. Small steps, he would say. Little progress is still progress. Arman started waking before sunrise. As his mother boiled tea, he sat with his books, slowly building what he had long abandoned. At school, he sat in the front row. He no longer laughed at teachers' warnings. He listened. He no longer skipped evenings by the river. He watched it only from afar, as though it reminded him how far he had drifted and how slowly he was rowing back. Time still moved fast. Some days, he felt it slipping again, and fear rose in him like a wave. But he kept going. There was no grand leap, no magical change, just slow, patient work. He began helping his father after studying. Their bond grew stronger, not through words, but through shared silence, shared effort. And each time his father looked at him with tired but hopeful eyes, Arman felt a new purpose growing inside him. The scholarship exam arrived on a bright spring morning. The whole village seemed to hold its breath. Arman's hands trembled as he wrote his answers, but he kept repeating Kabir's words. Regret arrives when time leaves. He wrote with focus, heart, and clarity. Weeks later, the results were announced near the school courtyard. The headmaster read 3 names aloud. First was Kabir. The second name wasn't Arman. A wave of disappointment crashed inside him. He thought he had failed again. And then, the third name, Arman Singh. The crowd clapped lightly. Kabir smiled with relief. Arman's eyes filled, not with pride, but gratitude. He looked at his parents. His father's tired face brightened for the first time in months. His mother whispered softly, "Thank you for not waiting this time." It wasn't just a scholarship. It was proof that a life can change, not in a dramatic moment, but through the quiet decision to stop wasting time. Arman left Surajpur months later to join a better school in the town. He stood by the river one last time, watching the water flow. It kept moving, just as time always does. He smiled, not with regret, but with understanding. Life does not punish us only for what we do wrong. It also punishes us for what we never do, for what we delay, for what we promise to start tomorrow. Time is a gentle companion when respected, and a silent thief when ignored. If there was one truth Arman wished every young soul would learn, it was this: regret is not born from failure. It is born from waiting, from believing we have forever. The boy who once threw away his days finally realized that every moment is a seed. Plant it carelessly and it grows into regret. Plant it wisely and it becomes a future. If you believe this story should reach more people, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. A small reminder today might save them from a lifetime of regret.